Hello and welcome to the 212th episode of the Doily-er Allergen. If you haven't heard of it before, that's on you. Today is our 50th anniversary, and frankly, we can't believe you forgot. You do this every year. I mean, for fuck's sake, just a card or something would be great. But I digress. I'm Philip Charles Edward Stanley Michaels. Today is November 10th, and it's currently 283 Kelvin outside, with a 10 to 100% chance of rain, depending on how the sacrifice goes. Today in history. Culture was rewritten in 1492 when Columbus sailed the ocean blue. The 21st night of September was remembered for the first time in 1653, when King George XII looked back fondly on his genocide of the Haringonians. The world was simultaneously rocked and created in 1980 when the Big Bang occurred, and a man will be shot at 6 p.m. tonight. We'll be back with more news. Don't go away or forget about us like you forgot about our anniversary, because no, I'm still not over that, and we will be talking about it. The Doily-er Allergen will return with everything you need to know after the obligatory musical transition. Our top story today: hide your kids, hide your wife. The University of Iowa has put out a bounty on every student and their families until their U-bill is paid, using information from a mandatory emergency contact form to track them down. For more on the story, we turn to our finance and gruesome murders correspondent, Dick Chad. Dick?
Thanks, Phil.
It's Philip.
I don't care. For millennia, when UI students have gone to pay their U-bills, they've been confronted by a nagging, unavoidable online form insisting they must fill out their emergency contacts. The student body has long expressed confusion and resentment toward the form, questioning why it exists. Well, last week they got their answer. According to university data, students have collectively failed to pay $208 million in tuition charges, late fees, and taxes. This fall, UI Financial Chair Mindy Carlisle has developed an elegant solution to say that enough is enough.
I was the first to realize that the emergency contact form was still actually operational, thanks to student complaint letters. We'd originally started the program in the 70s so that we could know who to contact if a student was killed by one of the many serial killers we had on campus back in those times. We thought we phased out the form after we introduced the Success at Iowa course to counteract the serial killer presence, but apparently not. Anyways, I noticed we still had all this data, as well as the $208 million in unpaid dues, and, well, I just put two and two together.
Carlisle and the rest of the university's financial office have worked tirelessly over the past month to take a hit out on the entire student body and alumni, using their emergency contacts as collateral to encourage students to pay tuition. Since this decision, the university's debt has dropped to an estimated $97 million, and the number of under-the-table kidney transactions in the U.S. has increased 8,172%.
It's hard to deny the success of the program. It makes you wonder why we hadn't done this years ago. Now the football team, the school, has the funding it needs, and the UI hospital network has an overwhelming surplus of kidneys.
In spite of its rousing success, the university's program has been widely criticized by students who question the ethics of using family members to extort UI students and alumni. Some students have begun protesting by changing their emergency contacts to random phone numbers or to the phone numbers of the university financial office.
There's really no need for such drastic countermeasures. We understand that college is not nearly as cheap as it once was, and we have sympathy for our students. Admittedly, that sympathy does go out the window after we pay a man on the dark web who goes only by spider to hunt down your family and mail you your sister's ear, but we, at the university, have sympathy.
Many students have also complained that the university has been spending excess money to hire people to threaten these emergency contacts in the first place, money that could be spent towards funding the school. When asked for comment, Mindy Carlisle told me, quote, "Technically yes, but no, for reasons you couldn't possibly fathom. So it sounds like the university's tuition bounty hunter program is here to stay, as is the form asking for your emergency contacts. Back to you and..." Oh, I'm sorry. I'm wrapping up a broadcast. You can't be...
You Dick Chad?
Yeah, who?
The university sends its regards.
What are these? Wait, who? Hold on. Where did you get these pictures? No. You were at my parents' house? Wait, don't go yet. Where did you get...
Fascinating, Dick. Thank you. In other news, University of Iowa executive chef Barry Greenberg has announced that the university dining halls use a lot of fucking eggs. Here to explain the situation is Chef Greenberg himself. Tell me, Chef, about how many eggs do you go through?
It's a shitload of eggs. You can't even wrap your mind around how many fucking eggs we use. Brown eggs, white eggs, new eggs, old eggs. They never last. Even when we try to conserve our resources, we go through about 109,000 eggs each week. And that's actually fucking insane.
That is fucking insane indeed. Do you have any more colorful metaphors to better explain this issue?
I sure do, bitch. The country of Iceland is home to about 357,000 people. If all those people were eggs, the university students would devour the whole goddamn population in less than a month like a bunch of fucking gremlins.
That's shocking. That's almost 358,000 people. I'm sure the environmental impact of all those eggs must be tremendous.
You have no fucking clue, do you? You have no fucking idea what happens in my kitchen. Okay, imagine a chicken. Imagine you're in a field watching one single chicken. Now imagine that instead of one chicken, you had a metric fuck ton of chickens. And then imagine that instead of a metric fuck ton of chickens, you want a metric fuck ton of eggs instead. That's how many eggs we use. You will never understand.
I mean, I can picture it.
You can picture it all you want. You will never understand.
But I'm sure you've got an excellent strategy to cook all those eggs up.
What did you just say?
I said you've got an excellent
I heard
strategy.
what you said. You have no fucking clue what you're doing right now.
I'm sorry, did I?
You piece of shit. I gotta stuff some eggs down your throat. See how you like it. Millions of chicken lives have been dedicated to those meals. Every day, every fucking day, I see the product of a chicken's life work, and I'm miserable thinking about the sheer fucking amount of eggs we use. They haunt my dreams and my nightmares. I can't get them all in my mind.
Well, I believe that's all the time we have.
You have no idea what you've done!
We'll be moving on now. Thank you for your time, Chef Greenberg. Before we move on to our next story, let's hear a word from our sponsor. We would never sell out our journalistic integrity except for these absolute gems of products. So let's give it a listen. Stay tuned.
Has this ever happened to you? You're cleaning your kitchen counters and your paper towels just aren't cutting it. Messes slip and slide and are impossible to clean. Say no more to sticky counters and crusty stovetops. Introducing the Wow Wipe, a revolutionary new product that's sweeping the nation. Clear crumbs, spills, and messes with the swipe of a wrist. But wait, there's more. Order within the next 24 hours to receive 2 Wow Wipes for the price of 1, plus shipping and handling. That's double the product for half the cost. But don't go yet. If you mention this advertisement, you'll be eligible for an exclusive radio offer to bring home the magic of Shirley Temple. You haven't seen Shirley until you've seen her brilliantly restored in black and white and in color. Presenting the Shirley Temple Little Darling DVD collection. 18 timeless films packed with hours of her unforgettable singing. But wait, there's more. Have you heard of America's new favorite pet? Chia Pets are the perfect gift for the whole family. Order now and receive an original Chia Pet gift set, plus 2 collectible Scooby-Doo Chia Pets. But don't go yet. If you're within the first 100 orders, we'll offer you the most exciting new kitchen tool. Is your dessert so boring it's left your family snoring? Not anymore. Introducing the original Chocolate Factory, the fun, easy way to turn ordinary into extraordinary desserts. Regular pots burn chocolate, but Chocolate Factory's double boiler is 2 pans in 1, melting chocolate into a smooth and creamy sensation. For just 8 easy payments of $49.99 plus shipping and handling, all these products could be yours. Don't wait, as supplies are limited. Call 1-800-555-SIM-SIM.
Coming up next, we will delve into the unseasonably warm temperatures that have made September and October feel more like summer. We go live in the field to Lydia Cross, our junior field correspondent, for her first live report.
Thanks for having me, Philip. I can't tell you how excited I am to finally be working in the journalism field after all my hard work to get to this place. So thank you so much for the opportunity. I won't let you down.
Don't mention it. Seriously, we are on the air right now. Lydia, how are things on the Pentacrest?
Well, you said it, Philip. Unseasonably warm. I'm here meeting with UI climatology expert Dr. Teresa Pruitt, who is walking up the Pentacrest Hill as we speak. She claims to have some dire news. that our tepid October weather may be indicative of something much more drastic. Oh, here she is now. Dr. Pruitt, thank you for meeting with me. What have you discovered about how our warm weather may have larger ramifications for climate change?
I'm sorry. The pentagrass tail always gets me. I'm sorry.
Of course. Take your time.
Do you have any water?
Philip, do we have any water?
I do, but I'm here in the studio. All the water in here is for me and me alone.
Oh shit. I left my inhaler in my office.
Will you be able to continue the interview? You said in your email that it was imperative that you share this news.
We should meet again when it's colder out.
Any idea when that would be? Dr. Pruitt. Doctor, I haven't finished my report.
Did she leave?
I can go walk with her to the office.
That's all the time we have allotted for this segment, I'm afraid.
Please, I...
We apologize to our listeners for getting your hopes up over such an important interview, and if you come across Dr. Teresa Pruitt in the future, feel free to spit at her. Our final story of the day is a new segment featuring our junior crime correspondent, Anna Borschen. Come on, guys, that's such a morbid joke. Seriously, not funny. Wait, that's actually her name. Oh, Jesus, sorry, Anna. I'm just going to call you Anna, okay? Anna will be covering the dark details of a mystery about North Liberty.
On July 11th, 2021, a woman's body washed up on the shore of the Iowa River. Passers-by assumed the corpse was merely a drunken sorority girl and decided not to disturb her. Despite the fact that she had been stabbed approximately 60 times in the chest, stomach, and face, onlookers had no doubt that she simply had a rough night at the frat party earlier that weekend. For 3 days, her body rested upon the dirty banks of the river among empty cans of Busch Light and discarded surgical masks. It wasn't until vultures and other birds of prey began swarming her body that students realized that a crime had taken place. A haunting call to 911 was placed in the evening of July 14th and promptly gained international attention for its grisly details. Police responded as fast as they could and made their first appearance at the crime scene at 10:15 in the morning on July 21st, a total of 10 days after the body was initially discovered. Although severe decomposition ravaged the woman's corpse and the evidence around it, officers were able to determine the victim was 20-year-old Dixie Normus, a resident of North Liberty and a student of the University of Iowa. Over the next 2 months, 3 more bodies washed ashore. Terror struck the residents of Iowa City, and although the Iowa City Police Department assured students they were doing everything they could to solve these crimes, there seemed to be no justice in sight. That is, until I got involved in the case. I took a look at the evidence, however limited, and discovered an odd link between all 4 victims. I'm going to tell you a story that seems beyond belief, especially to those familiar with the Iowa City area. It's a story of drugs, murder, love, fake towns and fake people, and worst of all, terrible xylophone musical intros. My name is Anna Borschen, and I want to clarify right away that my last name is very common in Russia, and I don't want to hear any jokes about it. All right? Philip, you got that? Good. Let's begin. Ask any resident of Iowa about the 4 victims over the summer, and their blood is sure to run cold. Although the circumstances around the discovery of their bodies are somewhat laughable, there is nothing funny about the names of these victims: Dixie Normus, Stacy Recht, Tara Dickoff, and York Hunt. ICPD officially labeled the 4 cases as cold on September 21st when they decided that they were, quote, a little tired of hearing about those dead kids. This stunning decision was released just 3 days after York Hunt washed up on the shore behind the Riverside Dairy Queen. Iowa City residents organized several protests to encourage the police to even put the tiniest bit of effort in, but they were unsuccessful. And that's when I stepped in. I may be a junior crime correspondent with nothing but an unpaid internship under my belt, but something seems rotten about this case. From the lack of police involvement to the gruesome circumstances of the crimes, virtually every detail of this case is strange. I can't sit back and watch these crimes take place, especially when I can make a podcast about it and earn $1 million. I mean, this isn't about money. Definitely not. This is about justice. Money is just a perk for me. Not that I'm thinking about money right now, because this is serious, and it's too early to start thinking about starting a partnership with BetterHelp or Simply Safe, or... I'm just, let's move on. Last week, I journeyed to ICPD's cold case department, which is just a couple old guys playing poker and smoking Cuban cigars on top of the files of missing people and unsolved murders. I met with Detective Craig Kennedy, who told me it was fine to rummage through the files as long as I didn't let anyone know about the poker and cigars. What I discovered was shocking. Not only did the files contain just 4 pages of information, a few grainy crime scene photographs, and some loose cobwebs, but all the evidence had apparently been destroyed in a freak fire caused by Cuban cigars in the evidence locker. The information I did have was limited. All I had was the names of the victims, records of the evidence collected at the crime scenes, and the driver's licenses used to ID the corpses. But that was all I needed to make a breakthrough. It's where I found a huge detail completely missed by the ICPD. A detail so shocking, so mystifying, so perplexing, and so utterly confounding that I had to bring Detective Craig Kennedy into the studio to break the news.
Hi, Miss Borshin. Is that actually your name?
Yes, but we should probably focus on,
It's a shame, really. Did you get bullied for it? Because I got my fair share of teasing over my last name growing up.
That's not really relevant.
Yeah, all the kids in my school thought I was related to President John F. Kennedy. Little silly, huh? Yeah, I'd laugh along with them until they'd call me a commie, and then I'd give them the old 1-2 and teach them a lesson, you know what I mean?
So what can you tell us about the 4 victims?
I thought we were supposed to have some small talk, but I suppose it's a dead art. Well, despite the fact that all 4 victims were very different, they shared a surprising amount of similarities. All the victims were between the ages of 19 and 22 with dark brown hair and brown eyes. They all attended the University of Iowa but resided in North Liberty. All of them were Scorpios, which explains why someone might want to murder them, but they were remembered by classmates as being reserved and quiet. At this point, we were thinking Ted Bundy might have come back from the dead. Yeah, good thing we fried him a couple decades ago, or we might have been in some real trouble.
Great information. Now, what was the one singular detail that blew this case wide open?
Oh, well, now, I couldn't believe it when you told me. I mean, me and the boys really should have picked up on that, but full disclosure, the night we set aside to look at all the victims' IDs, we found out that Officer Bunch was playing Hold'em with a bunch of cards in his sleeves, and we got a little distracted. And Brady's a good guy, but we like to keep things fair in the office.
Wait, his name is Officer Brady Bunch? No, never mind. What about the key detail, though? The one that broke the case wide open?
Crazy stuff, really. One of the wildest twists I've ever heard in my 48 years on the police force. Hard to believe it's been that long. I think the guys are throwing me a party to celebrate 50 years in law enforcement. You should come.
Detective, I'm flattered, but were you planning to share
Oh, yes, of course. Truly mind-boggling. Anna here realized that all the victims here at... Oh, hell yeah. New shipment of Cubans just came in. I'm gonna have to rain check this.
Motherfuck. The most damning detail of all is the address put on the driver's licenses. Not addresses, but one single address. Their legal documents all state that the 4 students, despite having zero relation to one another, lived at the same exact address, 1332 Zeller Street. I wanted to see for myself what kind of place they were living in. Could it have been an apartment building that somehow neglected to record apartment numbers? Or maybe was it a house, separated into distinct units? Believe it or not, neither of these are the case. At 1332 Zeller Street is a Hy-Vee. Yeah, their grocery store. I drove past the building several times to ensure I was seeing things correctly, and even as I speak this now, I'm baffled. I have to figure this out. The lives of North Liberty residents are at stake, and even more important, I could land an affiliate deal with Audible if this story gets big. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and I'm going to seize it. I'm going to call the Hy-Vee in question to see if I can get any information out of them. With any luck, I might be able to get a new lead, as long as I don't have to talk to that bitchy cashier Kendra. Wish me luck.
Hi, my name is Kendra. Thank you for contacting Hy-Vee. How can I help you?
Ugh, god damn it. Hi, is this the Hy-Vee at 1332 Zeller Street?
Yeah, can I help you?
I hope you can. Does the name Dixie Normus ring a bell?
Who's asking?
Anna Borshin, junior investigative journalist for the Doily-er Allergen.
Listen, Anna, don't get wrapped up in shit you don't know anything about. If you have even a single brain cell rattling around in your head, you won't contact us again.
I just have a few questions. It's obvious I won't be getting any answers from Hy-Vee, but I have other leads to follow. Next week, I'll introduce you to the facts of the crime scene and discuss the insidious theories I have about the ICPD's lack of involvement, or maybe total involvement, in the 4 murders. With any luck, I might even have a partnership with Crime Junkie by next month, which is definitely not the only reason I'm running a true crime podcast. Until next time, on North Lie-berty. I know it's bad, we'll keep working on it.
Wow, intriguing. I personally could go for more of that in every episode. Anna, talk to me when the show ends. Well, it appears we're nearly out of time, so we'll have to really hurry up for these last couple. Here's the rest of the news for this month. The past 3 weeks have seen an uptick in the number of students' phones exploding from too many emails, prompting the university to send out an apology email. Between the barrage of emails from student orgs, men's sports teams, women's sports teams, assignment updates, and psychology studies for elderly residents of Campbell County, Virginia, Dean of Students Angie Reams felt the right thing to do was to send an apology email to anyone whose phone has exploded and offer them a $10 gift card to downtown Iowa City. And God has made news this month after rebranding the 10 Commandments to the 10 Strong Encouragements. The heavenly creator of all life on earth explained that the decision was made given the Board of Angels' decision to no longer command any of God's followers to not kill or commit adultery, but rather to give people the choice of whether or not to follow the moral rules for avoiding eternal damnation. God has emphasized that the commandments are still strongly encouraged and to follow them, quote, pretty please with a cherry on top. And finally, local student Logan Loganson was left in terror this week after his roommate has continued to threaten to start a podcast. Loganson's roommate Kyle Alexander has dropped numerous hints about starting an audio-only talk show, despite having no established topic and having never said an interesting thing in his life. Wow, starting a podcast, that guy sounds like an asshole. That's all for the Doily-er Allergen for today. We thank you for joining us for our premiere episode if you ignore the 211 other ones that came before now. I'm Philip Charles Edward Stanley Michaels, and I got away with 8 murders in the 70s. We'll be back soon with another 30 days worth of news crammed into 30 minutes. And if you enjoy what you've heard today, we strongly encourage you to spread the word to your friends and enemies alike. Until next time.